Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we are going to be dreaming about gear together because today I am designing my dream $5,000 home drum studio. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because, first off, it's so much fun to just sit down and dream about what it is that we'd like, what we want, put it together a list. I'm sure you did it as a kid. I'm sure you do it as an adult. I do it as an adult all the time. But Sweetwater has offered the opportunity to put together your $5,000 wish list of dream gear, and you can win it. All you got to do is click the link in the top of my description. Go to the page here. It says win your wish list. Create an account and log in. Or log in if you already have an account. Then add the gear you want to your wish list until the giveaway deadline, September 30th, 2021. And they're going to choose a winner, and they're going to be contacted and posted on this page by October 31st, 2021. So you guys have the chance to win $5,000 worth of your gear. Unfortunately, I don't qualify to enter, but I'm still going to create a list, and I am going to put together my dream home drum studio. And the reason I'm doing this is I really want to talk about what drums I would pick, what cymbals I would pick, what hardware I would pick, what mics I would pick, what interface, all that stuff. I want to be able to create something that can incredible drum sounds from home on this wish list and be affordable, so that if you don't win, or if you've been wondering what you should get so you can create your own home studio, this will be helpful information. Now, let's get to it, and don't forget to click that link in the top of the description and go create your own wish list before September 30th. So, it's very simple. If you've never created a wish list before, I already have an account. I'm logged in. I have other wish lists here. This is the drums I want wish list. I have a little fun with this one. I absolutely love this Masters Maple Gum kit. I don't need it, but I want it. Free floating snare drum, etc., etc. So I'm going to create another list. This is going to be my $5,000 dream home drum studio of awesomeness! Exclamation points. All right. So I've created my wish list. My list is empty. I need to go add things. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add some drums. Now, I am going to get a Decade Maple kit from Pearl. You probably already guessed that based on the pictures here. Now, here's my explanation. You think $5,000, you probably think, oh, I can finally get that $3,000 drum set I really want. I got to get me some reference drums or reference pure drums for Pearl. And honestly, if you already have recording gear, you should do it. It'd be an amazing kit. But if you need a bunch of things for your home studio, spending over $1,000 or $1,500 or just a portion of that on the drums themselves is not a great idea, because at the end of the day, I love high-end drums, and Pearl has an amazing high-end drums, and if you have the money, you should get them. But if you don't have a huge budget, you can get amazing sound quality with great heads, great bearing edges, and great shells out of a lower level kit. And this right here is the Decade Maple kit. It's 6-ply maple shells, so you get amazing maple sound, which is that wood that everybody wants for recording. It's got great bearing edges. It's got great hardware on it. The only thing I would say is if you do have extra room in your wish list after you put together things, because you already have an interface or you already have mics or something, then the Session Studio Select series is an amazing step up from the Decade Maple, because it has pro quality hardware on it, better hoops, better mounts, and the shells themselves are really awesome. They're birch and mahogany, but that is not necessary. These drums with great heads sound phenomenal, and that's why we're going to use them today. But lots of options, and if you have more room in the budget, a 7-piece kit is great, but that means more mics, and that means more preamps, and most 5-piece kits are all you're going to need for recording in the studio. So we're going to skip the 7-piece, although I do have one of these at home, and we are going to go with a 5-piece. Now, I'm going to use the Gloss Deep Red Burst, for example, because that's what I have. Unfortunately, they sell really well, so Sweetwater doesn't have those right now, but you can still add it to your wish list, and when they do get them, you will get it. Or you can add a different color to your wish list. So, adding this to the wish list, we've done it. We're going to continue shopping. This right here is a 22 by 18, 10 by 7, 12 by 8, 16 by 16, and a 14 by 5.5 snare. Now, If you have a little extra room in the budget, there are some other things that I can suggest snare-wise. This is my Casey Cooper Igniter snare. Now, if you get the Decade Maple Shell Pack and not the Session Studio Select Shell Pack, you don't really need a snare drum like this because it's very similar. This is a all maple interior. It's got a 14 by 5 inch depth, so it's very similar to the Decade Maple snare. But if you need a snare drum for your drum set, this right here is a great quality, affordable option, and this is my Casey Cooper Igniter snare. So, you know, you're representing the Cooper Drummer YouTube page and Casey Cooper. But if you don't, if you have the Decade Maple snare and you want another snare, or if you're just looking for what my suggestion for a really awesome metal or just really awesome snare drum to add to your kit is, that would be this 14 by 6.5 Heritage Sensitone aluminum snare drum. Aluminum is more affordable than brass, although there's some great brass and other options out there from Pearl. But the aluminum drum just sounds phenomenal, and it's only like $300. Now, once you have your drum set, you're still going to need hardware. I am a Pearl artist. I love Pearl stuff, and all of their hardware is super, super sturdy and strong. So we are going to take a look at the hardware packs. When you buy a hardware pack, you get everything you need, and it saves you money. Now, there's a lot of great hardware packs, but I am going to go with this. This is new from Sweetwater. This is kind of more of an entry-level hardware pack, but it allows you to save a bunch of money on your wish list. It allows you to save a bunch of money on your studio, and it's double-braced hardware from Pearl. They create incredible stuff. So many drummers may play other drums because they grew up playing other drums, but a lot of them still play Pearl hardware because it is so durable. Now, this right here comes with hi-hat, snare, and 2 boom cymbal stands, so you've got almost everything you need hardware-wise. It does come with this kick pedal, and if you're really on a budget, you could keep it. But we're going to add this to the list. And I'm going to switch the kick drum pedal for something a little bit higher end because it is important. This is the Eliminator Solo. So the Eliminator series is my favorite from Pearl. It's a great price point to power to quality ratio. And because of this, the higher Eliminator Redline comes with different cams, so you can change the feel of the pedal. If you know what feel you want, this is a great, more affordable option. This is the Solo Black, so it's got the black cam, which is for power. It's what I use when I use the Eliminator Solo, and I absolutely love it. I don't typically change out the cams on any of my bass drum pedals because I'm just not that picky. As long as it's got a lot of power, I love it, and this is great. There's also a red variant, which is for speed, so if you're less of a power, more of a speed player, that's a great option. Only going to do a single kick because that's all I really want. That's mostly what I use in the studio. Sometimes for videos I use double kick, but for recording and tracking and stuff, it's typically single. So now we have hardware, drums, kick pedal. We still need a throne. Whoop. Don't know how to use the internet. All right, so lots of options here. You could spend more money or you could spend less money. I am not a picky throne guy. I know that is important for your posture, for your comfort, but if I don't have a ton of money to spend, then I want to think about this choice. And I'm going to go with one of the super affordable thrones here. The new Roadster thrones are amazing, but I don't believe that I have room in my budget with everything else that I want to get a higher end throne, so I'm going to go with this for now, and maybe one day I'll come back to Sweetwater and upgrade my throne. All right, so now we've got drums, hardware, kick pedal, throne. We need some cymbals. I could talk about cymbals all day, but if you only have the budget for one set of cymbals, then you want to get one set of cymbals that does a lot of things. Now, there are a few options that I would suggest based on what you want for your sound and also for versatility. Now, the A Custom cymbal set is amazing. I love it in videos. It's great. It looks cool. It's cutting. It's awesome for rock and stuff, but it's really bright. I don't think it's super, super versatile compared to some of the other options. The Zildjian A cymbal set over here for $809 is really a great purchase because they're very versatile cymbals, and that's something that you can use in everything. But I'm going to go with this right here. I think this is the best cymbal pack and most versatile cymbal pack that Zildjian offers. These are the K Suites. I use them for everything now, pretty much, for worship, for rock, for recording, for pop. I mean, I play K Suites for almost everything. They're just beautiful cymbals. This comes with the 21-inch Sweet Ride. The Sweet Rides are my favorite cymbals from Zildjian. You can crash them, you can ride them, you can bell them. They got awesome everything. Then it comes with the 15-inch Sweet Hatch, which are great. I have the 14s and I have the 16s. 15s are awesome as well. It's nice that they're in the middle of those two sizes, but I have the two if I want the bigger sound or the more tight sound. Then it comes with two Sweet Crashes, a 17 and a 19. Definitely putting that on the list. Favorite set of cymbals on the market. All right, let's take a look at where we're at price-wise. So with all that, we have $2,710. So what we've created so far is a really awesome drum set, but and that's the reason that I went more budget on the drums, because cymbals are pretty expensive and you want good cymbals. And so we need some drum heads. Actually, let's save the drum heads for the end because we got to figure out some of these other things first. Now, interfaces, we got to record the drums. So we're going to go with Focusrite here. Focusrite has a lot of amazing options. I have some really high-end stuff in my control room here, but what I'm about to show you is an incredible, more entry-level, which means more affordable, super affordable compared to other interfaces on the market and compared to some of the high-end stuff. We're going to look at the Scarlett series, and this right here is the Focusrite Scarlett 18i20 3rd Gen. So they've upgraded everything about this. This is the latest model. I've used some of the older models and they were great, but this model in particular, I've been tracking with it for some videos lately and it's amazing. My engineer tells me, he's like, dude, like these tracks sound great, and this is an entry-level recording interface from Focusrite. They have Neve technology in them, and they have all these different pieces of the puzzle that allow you to get a lot out of such an affordable setup. It has phantom power, it has pads, it has this air insert, which is like I'm pretty sure it comes from the Neve preamps. It's like adding this really cool sound and like feel and warmth to your recordings. Super awesome feature. And it has talkback on it, it has monitor outs, it has everything. It's a whole home studio in a box for only $550. So we're definitely putting that on the list because it's 8 preamps, and to record a full drum set we need 8 preamps because we got snare, kick, tom 1, tom 2, tom 3, overhead, and you still got one channel for a bottom snare mic or for another kick mic if you can eventually add that. So we're putting that on the list. Up next, we're doing drum mics. So we want to buy a pack of drum mics because it's going to be more affordable, and it's also going to allow us to get a lot of great mics in one package that all kind of complement each other. Now, if you need to save money, the Shure PGA drum kit pack right here is awesome. This over here is a great option as well. But if this is what I started on, I did a ton of my YouTube videos on them. And if you know what you're doing and your drums sound good, you can get great sounds out of them. You can also go more affordable than that, like the Samson DK kit. But for the sake of building a dream home studio, I'm going to go higher ends. Now, if you've seen my channel, you know I love Earthworks mics. I would click right here and I would get this Earthworks DK7 mic kit in a second if I was building a home studio and didn't need drums and didn't need cymbals and didn't need hardware, and I just needed mics and an interface and cables and stuff. Then I would go Earthworks DK7 because they are the best. This is the Icon USB. Sounds phenomenal. All their microphones are awesome, but don't have that kind of budget within $5,000 to also get drums and everything. So sorry, Earthworks, but today we got to go a little more affordable. And this right here is a great midway point from those Shure more affordable mics to something that's more high-end but still is not the amazing Earthworks mics. These Sennheiser mics are great. I've recorded with them before. The E604 on toms, I used them at Drumeo. I've used them in my own personal studio. It's what I had before I had Earthworks, and they sound so great on. They're super fat and big, and just it's what you want in the studio. They're not as clear as Earthworks mics, but they have a great tone to them. It comes with the 2 condensers, and it comes with this kick mic. And so you got tom and snare, tom 1, tom 2, tom 3, snare drum, overhead, kick mic. That's all we need, but we want to get mic stands and cables and all of that. And a lot of times Sweetwater offers this option where it comes in a bundle. And so you click here. Now I'm going to get a bundle of the mics, the stands, and the cables I need, and I'm going to save. It would have been $1,438 if I clicked on each item individually, but instead I'm getting it for $1,300, so I'm saving like 140 bucks. I'm going to add it to my list. You can also customize the bundle if you want. I'm not going to. This is great. Comes with great mic stands, comes with great cables, and we're adding that to the list. Now, let's take a look at the wish list. We are probably getting close. $4,559.56. So what else do we need here? We need some monitors. Monitors are super important. These monitors right here are amazing for the price point. These are the PreSonus Aris, and these are the newer versions. So the original version I've had, and they're great. These are upgraded even past that. If you need some monitors for your studio and you're on a budget, these are phenomenal. The 5-inchers are great. Eventually pair it with a subwoofer and you're covered, or if you can get the 8-inchers, the 8-inchers are awesome as well. We're going to need 2 of these. Let's view my wish list here. All right, so we are right at the edge of our price, $4,859.46. So we've got monitors, we've got mics, we've got our interface, we've got cables, we've got drums, we've got hardware, we've got cymbals. Last thing we need are to upgrade the drum heads. Now, the stock heads on the Pearl kit are pretty good. You can get a great sound out of them if you're good at tuning, but these Evans heads I'm about to show you are going to just take you to the next level. Now we got 10, 12, 16 toms, so we're going to get 10, 12, 16 G2s clear. That's what I've got here. We're going to put this, we're going to add it to the list. Then we are going to get Evans HD Dry for the snare drum. It's what I have on this snare. It's what I have on a bunch of my snare drums. It's a 2-ply snare head, so it lasts a long time. It's got a little overtone control ring on it, and it's got these little holes drilled in the edges that allow it to clean up the tone and not have too much ring. So many guys use it that I know of, and they love it. Then we're going to go Evans EMAD 2 for the kick. Here it is. 2-ply kick head that also has this dampening ring that you put on there, and it controls the overtones. We're adding it to the list. All right, let's go see where we're at. $4,969.43. So we are pretty much full up here. If you can find any room to spare, another thing that I would do is I'd upgrade the resonant heads on the toms, but I don't think we're going to have enough room in this setup to do that without sacrificing something. Okay, so $5,008. We're $8 over. So what we can do, because upgrading the resonant heads on your kit is really important, is we can take out this drum throne, and we can go a little bit cheaper on the drum throne, which I think eventually you'd probably want to upgrade it. But it's, I mean, if you're not picky and you're not sitting on it for 6 hours a day, then it's not really that big of a deal. We're going to add that to our list. We're going to go back and check our price. $4,978.75. So we've got drum heads, we've got drums, we've got cymbals, we've got hardware, we've got kick pedal, we've got interface. You need a couple of cables to connect your monitors to to the interface. So that can be our last little purchase here. And boom, $4,995.45. That's about as close as we can get it. Maybe you could add some like drum dampeners or something, a little patch for your kick drum. I don't know. All I know is that this is an amazing home drum studio, and of course you can make it your own. Click the link in the top of the description, go create your own wish list, and tell me in the comments, what is it that you would change? What would you get? What would you put on your dream wish list? Would you switch up the drums? Would you get a Session Studio Select kit, which would be awesome because then you get an extra floor tom, and then you get to pick out what snare drum you want with it, whether you want something like my Igniter snare, or you want one of these amazing Heritage aluminum Sensitone snare drums. I mean, there's so many options out there. The Decade Maple drums are incredible for the price and certainly allow you to get everything you need for a dream home studio. And I mean, this is just fun. Like, it's so much fun to create a video like this because it's fun to dream. It's fun to figure out. It's like an equation of some sorts, and it's kind of like this. I just want to say thank you to Sweetwater for this contest because it's an opportunity to sit down and to have fun and to dream about winning something really cool. And maybe you do win. You know, it's kind of like buying a lottery ticket. Now, it might not be a wise investment, but to spend a buck or two on a lottery ticket and dream for a few days about what you would do if you won the money. You know, how would you give back to your community? How would you change the world? What car would you buy? What vacation would you go on? You know, and this is that opportunity of, you know, maybe winning the gear lottery for $5,000 worth of your favorite gear and just getting to dream for a few minutes, you know? So I enjoyed it. I had fun. I hope that my insight into what I would buy and why I would buy it, because I've tried like everything, you know. I've played like every Pearl drum set. I've played many other drum sets on the market. I've played so many different types of cymbals. I've used so many different microphones. I've had so many different preamps. I'm super blessed to have access to all the gear that I've had. And so videos like this, I really want to give you solid sound advice. And what you're purchasing on this list here, although none of it is super, super high end, it's all really, really incredible. And it will get you an amazing drum sound. And that's why, like, I want to show it. I'm going to give you examples, and I'm going to have some of this gear used in some videos coming up so that you can see it and you can hear it and you can understand that what I'm telling you, I think, is great advice. So thank you so much for watching. Click the link at the top of the description. Go enter to win.